Sup folks, this is Dan from Discern, and these are my thoughts on the new EP from Gawvi, Holding Hue. Gawvi is a producer on the Reach Records label who has made tracks and beats from the hip-hop genre to, most recently, electropop, dance, and EDM. But unlike how run-of-the-mill his production can sound at times, his music schedule, as of late, has been anything but ordinary. Just a little over a month ago, he dropped his debut EP as an official Reach Records artist called Lost in Hue. It was 4 tracks of mindless but pleasant and enjoyable electronic dance pop, and I reviewed it on this channel. There's a link actually on the screen here and in the description box below this video for you to check out that review for yourself. I still stand by my thoughts in that video. I mean, after all, it was only a month ago. But I have taken a bit more of a liking to that EP since then. Pretty much I embraced the fact that the music is basic, it's lyrically uneventful, it's just overall fairly enjoyable if you don't expect too much from it. Basically, while I think that Gawvi can do better, I think he could get more explorative and more personally expressive with his music, try to stand out from the booming but awfully singular sound in the world of dance pop music. But since that review, I have learned that, Gawvi's last EP, and frankly this EP, is just background music to me. It's enjoyable, but not really worth close examination. In fact, it kind of devolves the more you scrutinize it. Anyway, getting back on track, that was a bit of a tangent. Just a month ago, Gawvi released the EP, Lost in Hue, and now he's released another 4-track EP, similar in style, in name, and in structure, called Holding Hue. It's another 4-track EP with more dance pop tracks and guest vocal features. It's very similar to the previous EP, which begs the question, why did you release these a month apart? Why not just bundle them together into one release and release them all at once? And if that's not confusing enough, he says that he has been working on a full-length album, a debut full-length album as well, which I pray is more substantial than just gluing together these already released EPs and adding a few more tracks. I'm going on record here, folks. I have no idea what his plans are, but I will be disappointed if that's where this is all headed. Anyway, enough of the intro jibber jabber. Let's get into the meat of this EP, this 15-minute EP. It opens with the track Desire featuring Darian Saffron. An electro-pop song with a quarter-note triplet groove, shimmery atmospherics, and not much else of note. It's a typical, super clean production sound. The beat doesn't really vary much at all throughout the song. The instrumental here has a sort of one bass line that just they add and subtract additional layers on it. It stays pretty mild and laid back for a dance track, but I think it still grooves pretty well. The 2 and the 4 snaps keep your head bobbing a little. Lyrically, this song is so tirelessly confusing, it is not worth dwelling on. Somehow, the sensual hook repeating desires, and even the phrase, "we just want everything that we feel in our heart," is supposed to resonate on a record from a Christian label. It's bizarre. Moving on. The next track is Still Got Me, featuring Jocelyn Bowman, or Bowman, I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. It's another track with that quarter-note triplet groove. He loves to use that one, but it does transition actually into a pounding quarter-note dance stomp in the hook with an added Latin flair a little bit. The production is unsurprising, but entertaining, and there are a few bright spots. I love the reggae-style diddling drum fills and the transitions. I also find the crescendoing and building synth tone, that increases in both volume and pitch, to be pretty tasty. And I really dig the sparse but effective use of trap beat sounds, like the sputtering and buzzing snare drum runs that are featured a few times, sort of in the pre-hook, basically. Lyrically, what is there to say? It's obvious the vocals on this track are sort of just another melodic instrument. They sound great. This applies to most of the record, actually, and his previous EP. It just seems the vocals are here for their sound and not necessarily their lyrical content, of which there is very little. The next track, Don't Have to Feel Sorry, featuring both Darian Saffron and a guest verse from rapper John Gives. Hey, look, some rap on a Gawvi track. It's been a while from that. Now, this track is not a hip-hop track. It's still more electro-pop in genre, but it has some seriously funky and groovy R&B flavors to it. This is without a doubt the most interesting track on the EP. It doesn't necessarily fit in super well with the tracks before it and the track after, but it's a good one, I think. It starts with a sort of bumpy, pieced-together percussive sample laying the groundwork for the rhythm, and then when the vocals start, this luscious synth bass comes in. It's rich, it feels totally independent, just grooving in its own little world. It has this memorable walk-up line that it does numerous times throughout the track. And best of all, has this moment as they drop into the hook where the bass, as well as the vocals, sort of stutter in and out. It's like they take a few steps and then pull back and then fully drop in. It's fantastic, it's clever, good work on that one. The rap verse from John Gives is certainly not his best, but it's pretty good. There's some mildly clever lines like drinking out the bottle, ain't no message in this bottle, and I don't need no pity up in my party. But his verse is probably most noteworthy for its uniformity with the mood. He raps with a smooth flow and a softer voice, just weds very well with the instrumental. It's a great addition to this R&B and hip-hop seasoning that sort of sprinkles this track. And the last track on this EP is Free, featuring the Caribbean or Caribbean sounding vocals from TJ. As the song starts, he's back to the quarter note triplet groove again, 3 out of 4 times on this EP. Not the most ample display of beat-making creativity. Now, thankfully, that fades away, actually, on this track, but then is replaced by the most common of dance beats, quarters on the kick drum. I digress. The sound and the lyrics on this song are so unsurprising and generic. Well, there just isn't much again to say. Production is clean and crisp. There's some more trap-style instrumentals and tones thrown in the mix, but it's just mostly another typical laid-back electro-pop groove. The real charisma, I think, and memorable features of this track are the vocal style of TJ, which is complemented pretty well by the backing instrumental, and the cheesy but equally catchy squeaky/whistling synth in the transitions after the hooks. I kid you not, the first time I heard that, I immediately thought of that old-timey cartoon of a whistling Mickey Mouse, Steamboat Willie, and I cannot get it out of my head. In fact, I think I'm going to splice this part of the track and a clip from that cartoon together and post that video. I mean, I am telling you, it fits perfectly, at least in my head. Which I'm not sure. Should you consider that a compliment or a criticism to the song? How well it fits with a cartoon mouse steering a 1920s steamboat. I don't know. You be the judge. Anyway, that's about all I have to say on these tracks. I think this EP is a little better than the previous, but I kind of think that because I knew what to expect this time around. I wasn't surprised by the very modern and overplayed electro-pop dance and EDM sound. Knowing what it is, knowing what Gawvi has been making recently, which, like I said, I think he can do better. He can bust out of this ordinary dance pop sound and venture out into something more chaotic and exciting, as he did with the track Vena earlier this year. I'll let this EP take the play the background role. Flip it on every so often while I'm cruising home from work or something. It's fun, it's chill, and I don't know if I'll be listening to it a year from now. It's that there and gone aspect of modern pop. Colorful and vivid like a firework, but it quickly burns out. So There are links in the description box below for you to hear this album for yourself. Give it a spin. It's only 15 minutes, folks. And as always, there is a link to Gawvi's Twitter. Keep your eyes peeled for that new album that he says he's working on. Hopefully, it's not just an EP compilation plus bonus tracks. We'll see. All right, folks. Thank you for watching this review. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel. Each week, new album reviews, just like this one, release every Friday, and new track reviews release every Wednesday. If you have a question or a comment for me about this album or about something else, let me know. You can comment below this video. You could tweet at me at discernreviews, or you could send me an email, discernreviews@gmail.com. Have you heard this album from Gawvi? Have you heard his last EP just a month ago? What do you think of his sound, the electro-pop dance sound he's got going on? What do you think of his decision to release these EPs so darn close together? It's unconventional, that's for sure. But let me know what you think, folks. Thanks for watching. Hope this helps. See ya.